So one of the things we need to talk about today is what to do if you're being followed. Have you ever been followed? Have you ever had that gut feeling that you felt like somebody was following you? Do you know how to figure out if you're being followed? What can we do, Rob?
You know what, Beth? People being followed, it happens a lot more than what you think. And generally, it'll start from that sensation where you feel that something isn't right, or maybe somebody's watching you and you don't feel good about it, right?
I've had that feeling before.
Intuition. So when you get that feeling, you're walking down the street and you get that sensation that maybe something isn't right or somebody's watching you, cross the street. Just go to the other side. Be mindful of what's happening. Keep an eye out. Watch. If that person or persons start following you across the street, walk a little bit further down the street. Come back to the other side again. If you see the same person following you back across the street, high probability is that they are following you. Another thing that you might want to do is when you cross the street, change directions. Now go back the opposite way. You've crossed, you've created distance away from this person who you feel is watching or following you, and now you're going back the other way. If they change directions, high probability that they are following you.
That's not just a coincidence.
No, that's not a coincidence any longer. You know what? It can happen in a shopping mall. Maybe you're walking through the mall, you get the same sensation, same feeling that someone's watching you. It's okay to walk into a store and tell the person that's working into the store, you know what, I need help. I think someone's following me. Can you call security? Can you call the police? That's okay to do. When you're out on the street and you're walking down the street, you've crossed the road, you've come back, maybe you've changed directions, maybe you've turned a corner, maybe you've turned another corner, and you've identified that, yes, this person is following you. You know what? Take a look around you. See what's happening. If you see a house with lights on, maybe go to the door, knock on the door. In not all cases will people open the door because remember, now you're a stranger at their home. But if you're knocking on the door, asking for help, telling someone that you think someone's following you and you need help, most people will open the door to help you out.
I could probably go into a store or somewhere too that's very public and just go in there and be okay to tell somebody, hey, I think I'm being followed and I need help.
Absolutely. But the important thing here is a lot of people think, you know, I'm being followed, I can look after this on my own. Don't take that chance. If you've created interest in someone and someone is targeting you and they've made a conscious decision now to start following you, they want something from you. So don't think you can handle this on your own. I mean, if you have distance here, use that distance. Get help. Try and get someone to help you or give you assistance. And you know what? If you have enough distance, you may even be able to turn to them and say, hey, are you following me? If you have the distance. You don't want to do this if you're really close to them because, you know, bad things can happen. But creating distance, if you have the distance, ask the questions. Sometimes that can be enough to offset that person and make that stop.
Well, how embarrassing would that be if you turn around and you say to someone, are you following me? Or if you go into a store and you say, I need help, there's somebody in a black hoodie or somebody scary that's following me. And they look outside and there's nobody following you. Or the person says to you, do you have a problem? I'm not following you. That's embarrassing.
You know what? Being embarrassed is one thing. Losing your life is something else. So don't take your embarrassment as a risk. Don't think, you know, because you're looking for help or asking for help that someone's going to think you're silly or that you're being embarrassed or you're imposing on them, because you're not. If you need help, it's okay to ask for help. And people are willing to help you out. They understand. They understand if you're there asking for assistance and help, people will help you out. So don't try it on your own.
It's better to be embarrassed and be wrong than to be right and not have done anything about it. And I'm going to just tell you a little bit of a story, Rob, and I kind of touched on it earlier when we were talking about intuition. I was followed one time, and I had to, you know, pick up my pace a little bit, and when they picked up their pace behind me, I actually broke into a run down a set of about 6 stairs, and I almost fell, and I remember it. It was 30 years ago, and I still remember it. I turned the corner into the corner store, and I said to the lady behind the counter, you have to help me, I'm being followed. And she looked at me, and I'm sure she thought I was, you know, not telling the truth, or I was trying to distract her, or there was something going on. but she let me stay in the store with her for 30 minutes. And before I left the store, she went outside, she checked up and down the street, and everything was fine, and she was very helpful, even though she was a little hesitant at first. So I'm glad that I asked for help, and I didn't feel embarrassed, and I was given a safe place to stay.
Hey, so remember, if you get that sensation that you're being followed, go across the road, come back, change directions, turn corners. If that person is following you and you've identified it, get help. Don't think you can handle it on your own. Hey, course certified self-defense instructor, 30 years ago, she needed help. She went into a store and got help. Good people will help you.